In today's live stream, we're going to be talking about Astar's network unique staking protocol called dApp staking. All that and much more coming up now. Woo-hoo! It's the crypto lifestyle, baby. That's right, you heard it correctly. Right here, right now, we're going to be covering Astar and Shiden networks very unique staking protocol they dubbed dApp staking. That's correct. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one. As you guys know, we've been covering Astar Network over a year now. You know, we've actually covered the lock drop, so you might already have Astar tokens, formerly known as Plasm. We've also done a live stream interview with Soda Watanabe, the founder of the Plasm Network, and we've been bullish a long time. And this is another thing that I want to bring to your attention. Again, dApp staking is very, very cool, very, very unique. In this live stream, we're going to go over some Medium articles that describes exactly this, okay? I know you guys don't really like to read too much, but that's why I'm here. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to review these Medium articles to a T, and there's also a video as well. All right, guys? So before I actually jump into my computer screen and share that screen, let me say hello to the TCLers who are joining us here live. Or if you're joining us via the live replay, then just say what's up in the comment section as well. Okay. All right, the whole Jing Bang is here. What's up, guys? We have Dev. Thank you, Dev. You know, the first time you actually called me when I was live, that was going to help me out here. Take two, right, guys? Take two. We got Luz. What's up, Luz? The Wolf says, let's go. Woof, woof. Everybody's locked and loaded here, ready to learn what this dApp staking is all about. And let me tell you, it's very, very special and unique. I can't stress that enough. Can't wait to dive into all of that. We got FB Crypto says, yes, live again. Danny P says, hello, fam. Thank you guys so much for joining me here for the second time, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, guys? All right, so I got my coffee here. I got my second computer, which is going to share my screen. We're going to go over a couple of articles from Soda and also from a core team member that's going to shed some light on this matter, okay? As I said, I know, I get it. Like, I don't really like to read that much myself. I'm an audiobook guy, but let me be your audiobook for this presentation. I'm going to read the Medium article, okay? Okay. Cool. Let me get this guy out the way. And give me a second, guys. I'm just actually going to share my screen here. And we are live in 4K. Please, admins, if you could, just be so kind and remind the viewers as this presentation goes along, in order to actually view this in 4K. You don't, like, people tell me, oh, I don't have a 4K screen. Well, it's not that you don't have a 4K screen. The output, my output, is going to allow you to view this in 4K, okay? So what that entails is if you're on your mobile device, you might want to hit those three dots on the top right-hand corner of your telephone, okay, your mobile phone there, and choose Advanced, and then you want to choose 2160 for best quality. Okay, cool. We're going to go like this now, like that, and I'm going to go bada bing, bada boom. Let's get right to it. We got some nice little touchscreen action going on over here, so you guys could really see what I'm presenting here. Okay, guys, let's get right to it. Okay, so this was published on June 18th, and it's written by It's Me, STYJ, core team, so on and so forth. Okay, very, very informative stuff here, guys. You need to understand this because what did I tell you guys? When I was growing up, I said this story 100 times. When I was growing up, my mom always tells me, Francis, you're never ever going to earn an honest dollar until you contribute to the economy. So this is essentially almost like a job, right? Here we are today in 2021, ladies and gentlemen. I always say this is the best time to be freaking alive. You have no excuse to go after your dreams. Why? Because for me, crypto, blockchain, financial technology, all these things allow me a lot more time to do things, really and truly. Okay, that's why a lifestyle is in my brand's name, because it's not just all about making that, banking that coin. It's mixing it to live that lifestyle. Okay, guys. But this is like, we come to a place right now where, like, what are we trying to do? At least me. I always wanted to exchange time for money, or money for time, rather, right? Instead of me working for money, I want that money to work for me. So in a sense, you got this, whether you want to run a full node or, just be a staker or a nominator or whatever, you got an opportunity here. And there's actually something that within this article they talk about that's a $27,000 salary. What? Just to run a node, bro? Just to stake? Like, not to do anything? Do you know how hard I had to work for fucking $30,000 a year? At one point, I worked for $30,000 Canadian a year. But then, fast forward a few years later, I'm seeing something about just having to run a computer, 24/7 is going to give you that amount of money. Obviously, there's some cost involved with, maybe some electricity and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, there is an opportunity for somebody to do that, okay? And we're going to get into all of that good stuff. I don't know how this coffee got cold already. Okay, so hi everyone. When you first read on Plasm, sorry guys, actually, let me just do this first. I do apologize. Okay, I just want to double check this here. Do apologize for the interruption, and we should be good now. Cool. Okay, when you first read up on Plasm, you would most likely have chanced upon the term dApp staking. Get used to that term. You're going to hear it a heck of a lot more. dApp staking is one of the unique features of Plasm Shiden that allows us to differentiate ourselves from our competitors, okay? And when you come over here, this is actually a quick overview from the main man himself, the big dog Soda Watanabe, and we're going to go to that after this piece here. However, from my interactions with the community, it seems like this concept is not very well understood. I understand that it is also hard to imagine what dApp staking is supposed to be like, since we're neither live on Polkadot nor Kusama. As of 18th of June 2021, they are already live on Kusama. We're talking about Shiden Network. Okay, and the testnet actually is going to go live today for the dApp staking for anybody who wanted to just, see how it works, right? I don't think it's live at this current hour or moment, okay? So I am going to try my best to illustrate this for you, and he does a really good job here of, showing us how the process works. And there's also a video I could play at the end of this live stream presentation, and I could just hang out in the chat as we watch that, okay? So let's go on over here to unique features, which should be this article here by Big Dog, Big Main Man, the big guy, Soda Watanabe, okay, who says, going a little bit more. So one of the frequently asked questions from the community is that what is the difference between Plasm Network and XXX parachain, right? So like another parachain, and he brings up some fascinating points right here. So at the get-go, if you guys follow Plasm Network, they were the only ones who had this, smart contract capability, right? As we all know, I stress this all the time, Polkadot by design does not have that. The relay chain is nothing, okay? So this is needed here. This was the first mover. Now we're seeing this common theme playing out with these parachains where, Moon River, for example, they're talking about being this EVM, right? Ethereum compatibility, a Plasm Network as well, and other chains. This is just going to be standard. This is just going to be, you know what I mean? Like second nature. It's just going to be a thing, right? Like it's not nothing, what do you call it? Original. All of these parachains would have this. So sort of saying, well, if that's the case, this is what makes us different, okay, guys? So he goes on to say dApp staking. Okay, this is very strong, interesting feature only Plasm has in the Polkadot ecosystem. And again, for me, I like them all. I really do. I don't care. It's not about this fanboy and that fanboy and, you know what I mean, all this tribal stuff. I think they all serve a really, 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 really good purpose, and they all have their roles, okay? So for me, it's not about which one's better, this and that. I'm utilizing all of them, right? All of the main ones that I think anyways, okay? So here we go. PLM slash SDN, so that's Plasm, but today it's Astar and Shiden token holders can stake on validators as well as dApps creators. By doing so, both nominators and dApps creators can get basic income from block reward. To make the long story short, you can earn a PLM or Astar tokens by making application on Plasm Network, though you have to pay high gas fee to develop applications on other networks. As we all know, Ethereum is, prime suspect when it comes to that. Ethereum, how much was gas today? I think it was like somebody was talking about $60, $50. I think in the morning it was somewhat cheap, like $12, but it's not consistent, right? You gotta wait. And the markets don't wait for anybody. You know what I mean? So if you don't mind paying the hefty fee, then hey, all the power to you. But this is what he's alluding to over here. Cool. I'm going to pretend that cold coffee tastes good. Okay, so multi-virtual machine and multi-chain future, okay? Plasm Network or Astar Network is a multi-virtual machine. This means that we support both Ethereum virtual machine and WASM, so that you can deploy Solidity, Viper, and Ink contracts on Plasm Network. In addition to that, we support multiple platforms. We are currently making Secret Network Bridge, Ethereum Bridge, and more. Disclaimer, Akala may have a similar vision. As you guys know, Akala and Plasm, they've done some partnerships in the past with the testnet. and the first parachains to actually communicate via the XCMP. So they do have a real business relationship together, okay? Layer 2 implementations. Currently, we are implementing ZK rollups, an optimistic virtual machine. In the future, dApps developers can deploy contracts both on layer 1 or layer 2. If you see L1 or L2, layer 1 is the main blockchain, layer 2 is the application, or the dApp, the decentralized application on top of layer 1, or yeah, the application. We assume a lot of Ethereum projects will use rollup solution. They can use the same architecture on Polkadot, so they don't need to waste their work on Ethereum when they make a multi-chain application. All right, and this is a very important part before we get back to the actual, dApp staking. So community-driven projects. Don't you love those words that when they're strung together? Community-driven project. Say it for me in the live chat right now. If you're watching the replay, drop that in the comment section. Plasm Network or Astar Network is a community-driven project. So Plasm Network is a community-driven project. We distribute 65% of the total supply to the community members through lock drops. In addition to that, I know that many projects only raise funds from very selected VCs with huge discounted community members can get tokens at the early stage. This is not our philosophy. We distributed tokens to our users first without receiving any funds. Then we raised funds from VCs. That is very, very true. Okay, very true. Again, there was the lock drop that we conducted, and I'll raise hands or let us know in the live chat or in the comment section if you took part in that lock drop via my video. I would love to hear from you. But we actually took place, we entered the second lock drop. There was a lock drop before that, only one. We had the second one. I think there was a third one, and now it's the parachain auctions, right? And I think somewhere in the middle there, they actually was approached, or maybe they approached VCs. I don't know. But that is very, very true. And once again, as we know, community-driven project, right on TCLers. And also, it's important to note, right? I can't stress this enough. I believe there's only 5% of the tokens going to this team. So community-driven project, once again, if you compare that to other parachains or just other projects, period, it's a little bit more. For me, that doesn't mean it's like, oh my God, that's the end. It's a deal breaker. No. But you got to take that into consideration. If you're talking about community-driven project, the more tokens going out to ecosystem or to the community or to block rewards, which we're going to get into very shortly, coming up next, that is definitely a community-driven project. So Soda, Martin, Young Suck Kang, you guys are amazing. Okay, so where are we here now? All right, so let's look at this little diagram over here briefly. So introduction. In one picture, this is how dApp staking is supposed to work, okay? So staker stakes and nominates smart contracts, right? So you got the staker, okay? You actually got to choose a smart contract, right? So that's the callator or the operator in this instance. They're dubbing it or calling it or referring to it as operator here, okay? If you actually staked on another platform that I showed you guys in the past, that is part of this whole ecosystem, you should be aware how this works, okay? Number 2, stakers and operators can get rewards from Plasm, okay? And it gets into much more detail over here. So let's actually dive right here. Okay, because they actually tells us the percentages, and it blew my mind to see that 27,000 USD base salary. That's an estimate based off of if it was $1, I believe, and we're going to get into that right now. Okay, so how does this work? All right, every smart contract on Plasm Shiden can be assigned an administrator known as operators. Instead of staking to validators, users can choose to nominate their PLM/Shiden or Astar. PLM is Astar. Tokens to these operators. These users are also known as nominators. Okay, guys? So if I want to stake my Astar tokens, right, I am submitting it to, let's just call it a nominator or operator smart contract. Okay? Again, I've showed you guys how to do this with Moon River. Very similar stuff. But to me, I'm liking this a little bit more. And I'm going to show you guys why. I like them all. But when it comes to staking, this one might take the cake. We'll see. At every block, half of your block rewards are used for dApp staking. This reward is further divided into a 4-to-1 ratio, guys. Listen up. Between operators and nominators, 50% of the block reward goes to validators. 40% goes to operators, and 10% goes to nominators. That is crazy. Yo, 50% of block rewards goes to validators. Bro, that is the full-fledged business. That is a business, man. As the adoption starts to happen, right? You gotta, it's like, who said it best, man? I think it was Michael Saylor. he was talking about Bitcoin, and he says, if you believe this is going to be adopted, think of it like, what did he say? A block in Manhattan in 1901. If you think there's going to be an influx of people migrating here, why are you going to go, you know, buy an apartment? Get a damn whole block, right? And never sell that, right? And, you know, when the migration comes about and the adoption comes about, well, normally that shit goes up in value, right? So this is it in the early stages. Think of it in 1900, like New York. And then it grew to be this big, thriving city, right? The new world, like they like to call it. Okay, where are we? 40% of block rewards is huge incentive for dApp developers to build on Plasm. So if I myself had a project and I wanted to go live on, say, whatever chain, and I saw this chain over here, Plasm is giving 40% of the block rewards to dApp developers. Pretty damn cool. In other blockchains like Ethereum, dApp developers need to apply for grant programs. Okay? So they're not getting incentivized or paid to use Ethereum or another chain or whatever, right? Let's just use Ethereum because that's what they said here. However, what Astar is doing for decentralized applications, okay, for example, the PolkaX of the world, Coinversations of the world, that's going to go on this network, they're like, hey, look, we would give you 40% of those block rewards. Very cool stuff, okay? Yeah, so to earn some money, but on Plasm, as long as your dApp has been nominated, you will receive some basic income. So basically, your dApp has to be nominated, okay? And again, this video that we're going to show will kind of, display this for you, showcase this for you a little bit, give you some better insights. But if it's not nominated, obviously it's not going to go live. The contract's not going to go live, okay? As your dApp grows in popularity, more members of the community will nominate you, and this means that you will receive a greater percentage of the block reward, okay, guys? So again, let me just briefly come on over here. So this is the Builders program for all of you guys who are still here watching. Okay, this is the Builders program for Astar. Now, if you are a hustler, if you are a decentralized fanatic like myself, and you have tomorrow's newspapers today, these are the types of, web pages you might be visiting, okay? So let's just say, for example, you did your due diligence on Block Scout. You did your due diligence on Crypto Spells, Deep Waifu, and all these things over here. The list goes on, right? PolkaX, right? You did your research on that. Now, after your research and you saw what they've developed, you watched their community, and you think one of these dApps like PolkaX might be successful, right? They got a lot of adoption, they got a lot of transactions, they got good trading volume, their application is live, it's been stress tested, and you think, you're very confident this is the dApp for you to choose for staking. Well, if you choose the correct one that, checks off all those boxes and that, that I just mentioned, then you will get more rewards based off of the performance of the dApp. So it's a little bit of like this, it has some gamified to it, right? It's kind of gamified a bit. Speaking of PolkaX, not too pretty, eh? I mean, sorry, not too shabby. Not too shabby. Sitting pretty. 25.6% up. So, hey, if you think PolkaX, right, and I'm just saying, it's just up here. If you think PolkaX is going to be, a top performer on this chain because of maybe their launch pad, you think they're going to be onboarding new projects, right? Launching on Shiden and Astar, or maybe you think their DEX is going to be really cool and, the yield farming, they got over 1 million locked up. They got some traction. Maybe they might come out with their, how their tier system works. Maybe they might come out with their first launch pad, and that's going to kickstart things. If you think that's the case, and you choose PolkaX, and, what you thought translated to reality, then, I mean, you're going to be sitting pretty over here, getting some nice block rewards. And how does the block rewards actually work? Let's find out. Example, I am using PLM in this example, or Astar, okay, guys? But the same logic can be applied for Shiden. Let's assume that PLM or Astar has a price of $1, guys. This is really, 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 really interesting stuff right here, okay, guys? All right, so let's assume that Plasm price is only $1. Right now, Shiden's about $5, right? With a total supply of 70 million Astar tokens. That gives PLM a market cap of 70 million. You guys follow so far? Okay. We have 10% inflation a year, so that means after 1 year of running the blockchain, assuming no change in price, we would have created 7 million USD worth of Plasm tokens. Okay. Block rewards are split between validators, dApps, and nominators at a 5-4-1. So that's 50%, 40%, and 10%, as they already alluded to earlier in this article, which equates to 3.5 million, 2.8 million, and about $800,000 or 0.8 million respectively. Okay? If you're able to maintain an on average 1% of all nomination, you will receive $28K or grand, $28,000 USD at the end of 1 year. Guys, I repeat that. Look at this beautiful world that we are living in because of Web3, because of decentralization, because of the likes of Astar Network and Polkadot. Let me repeat that again. If you're able to maintain on average 1% of all nomination, you'll receive $28,000 USD at the end of 1 year. Do you know how much this could help people in, say, Bangladesh, India, Africa, all these things? Yeah, sure, they might have to get a node. Yeah, sure, they might have to, like, figure out their internet connection. But at the end of the day, if you could get those resources, this is here. And I believe in Africa and some rundown places in India, they're going to have this megabit connection in a hot air balloon that everyone will have access to the internet, right? Because, you would think that how, these poor places, these poverty-driven cities or parts of the world don't have phones. They got phones, bro. Everyone has phones, right? Everybody has phones today. For the most part, you'll be surprised how much phones they got in these areas than they don't. It's just a matter of connecting to Wi-Fi. So, I'm just saying, man, hopefully we could get these guys on board to, just be included in, into the, just being able to access the internet, because that's going to open up so much opportunities for those people, okay? 28K, guys. Crazy stuff. Again, as I tell you, I worked for $30,000 at one point in my life, Canadian, which was less than this. And that entailed me getting my ass up, working for like 10 hours a day, okay? In the damn cold, too. And yeah, it was not a nice experience. Anyhow, 28K might not sound like much, but it is more than enough to cover your basic expenses. It's our version of universal basic income for operators, man. Smooth operator. Smooth operator. Damn, bro. I like that. I like that. That's pretty badass to know that you can receive that guaranteed at the end of the year. Shit. And I believe that's because, and that's also at a very conservative estimate with the $1 thing, okay? They put it at $1. I'm not going to talk about price here, but that's for another live stream. But here's something even better, ladies and gentlemen, okay? What if you could sell your operator position? Guess what? You can. Imagine if you are an operator to dApp that holds on average 10% of all nomination. That's $280,000 of reoccurring profit annually at PLM equals $1, right? At that base price of $1. Like a traditional business, you can sell. This is crazy. Like a traditional business, you can sell this operator position away if you prefer an upfront payment as opposed to having it distributed over a period of time. Like exiting a company, right? So it kind of like creates value over time, just like a company would. This is pretty cool, guys. Like, you got to really treat this as a business now, right? And this is the thing that I really love about this ecosystem, this network, is it's different. It's different. So it's going to take you, a lot more research involved. But when you do and you tap into this information, bro, it's powerful. It really is. And this is why I saved up dots, and this is why I saved up Kusama, to get these parachains, to contribute to this network. It's a play to earn. So and them are dubbing it now build to earn, right? Build to earn, or contribute to the network to earn. All right, guys, I'm excited. I don't know about y'all. Some people say sometimes I get too excited, but I just got that foresight. I just know how big this is. I will leave the question of what is the fair value of PLM to you, since I do not want to speculate on price, but I hope that from this example, you can see why we believe in this potential of dApp staking, and how by supporting dApp developers natively in our blockchain, we can incentivize more developers to build more dApps, amazing dApps for our community, okay? So first time ever, developers now has the ability to be incentivized to launch on this chain. You know what I mean? So it goes back to the top of the article when they were saying, well, having this Ethereum virtual machine is all good and everything, but what they're trying to get to is this. It appears that all of these parachain blockchains are going to have that. So what makes us, the Plasm Network, unique? You guys just heard it right there. It's a win-win situation for everybody. The developers are being incentivized. The nominators or operators are being incentivized. The validators are being incentivized. And of course, us, the people who are staking as well. It's a win-win situation. This is how the world should be. Why couldn't we have world governance like this, man? Everybody will be so much more affluent. We'll be living in abundance. But guess what? We could change that with Web3 and decentralization, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so what else do we got here? All right. So I guess what I would do is, I like to keep these sort of presentations about, I don't know, I don't really have a timeline on it, but, when you're watching the replay, you want to get straight to the point. So what you guys are looking at over here is pretty much, obviously, Astar's network official website. And over here is where you're going to be, accessing the dApp staking. It's not live right now, but this is where it would be. I could imagine that you'll see dApp staking here. And you choose it, you choose your dApp, as long as, the developers have already created a staking smart contract for you to choose, right? And I'm going to show you a video about that as well, right here, which does not have any volume. The other one does. It's only 2 minutes long, guys. Just get some insights on how this may work. Okay, it's a 2-minute video. Again, this is the test net here. Right, so it looks like the button would say dApps on the left. And I could go over this once it's live. The mainnet is live, don't worry. It's a beautiful thing about this ecosystem, man. There's a lot to learn. And if you're a first mover, you could reap the rewards, guys. Okay? Highly recommend you guys educate yourself on this, okay? Just don't rely on myself. There's so much information in here. Heck, I might even learn some from you guys. All right? Is that it? Oh, so he's talking. Yeah, he just added. He called it Flipper. It's a dApp. Okay, register a new dApp. Obviously, I hope you already are using your polkadot.js wallet, right? I hope we're all using the JS wallet now. Come on. You're going to need that, of course. What's this? You want to put the amount of Astar. Okay. I hope you guys are learning something from this. Let that go through. And then right there, that should display, the amount staked, and other pieces of information. Okay, JS wallet once again. That's going to connect. Bada bing, bada boom. I think there's one more confirmation. All right, and this is on Astar's network official YouTube channel. So if you really wanted to, go over this again and again, you could do that over there. Cool. All right, guys. So you guys get the point for the most part. And what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to let this one play out. And I'm just going to jump into the live chat and let you guys, just see how this process works. This guy is pretty much explaining what I just went over. And this is a new video, as you can see, October 3rd, 2021, which is what, 2 days ago? Something like that. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to play this out. Should have volume on this one. Let me see. Hold on, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna put the volume on right here.
Developer at the Astar. If you are not familiar with what is dApp staking, I will guide you quickly through this slide. So our network has a 10% inflation per year, which is then further distributed as 10% to collators, reward for the collators, 40% goes to treasury for the future use by the on-chain governance, and 50% goes to the developers of the smart contracts or dApps and the stakers. This 50% is divided 80% to the developers and 10% to the stakers. This whole idea is giving positive feedback on network valuation. So the more dApps or smart contracts are created, the more tokens will be staked. And you know that the more tokens are staked, the less tokens are in circulation. And this gives a better valuation for the network. For the purposes of this demo, this is the little picture, what will be presented. So we have Dave and Eve. We have 2 developers. They made smart contracts 1 and 2. on addresses 1 and 2. And we have 3 stakers. We have Alice, Bob, and Charlie willing to stake some funds, some tokens, shiden tokens or Astar tokens on those contracts. So the actions we'll see will have registration. So every developer needs to register their contracts to be able to claim rewards. And we have three actions that will be used by the people who stake their tokens. So it's staking, claiming, and unstaking. So we'll go through these 4 steps. And a few notices before we start. This is a presentation on Shiden Development Network. It will be soon on the production line, first testnet and then production line. The block duration for this demo to be quicker and
60.
we can show you what is this all about.
60
so
blocks.
block duration is 2 seconds and era duration is 60 blocks. Era will be around 1 day, but for purposes of this demo, it's 2 minutes, like 2 seconds times 60 blocks. Each block we have 1.3 tokens produced or issued through inflation. And if you calculate, this will give you in one era, like our little 60 blocks era, around 8.
Hey guys, so I know when you hear the word inflation, you might be thinking, oh my God, inflation? I thought this is supposed to be a limited supply. But remember, that inflation is to reward participants of the network, right? Like the validators, the collators, the stakers, the nominators, operators, so on and so forth. This isn't inflation where, you know what I mean? It's inflating the currency. This is not that type of inflation. You know, so this is healthy inflation. You know how you got good and bad debt? Well, this is good inflation.
80 tokens. 80 tokens are then further distributed as 16 to stakers and 64 for developers. These tokens needs to be claimed, but you will see how we do that. And this is little table. So we'll have, this is the balance at the moment. You will see it in a few seconds. So we have 1,000 on Bob and Alice, and we have 100 on Dave, Charlie, and Eve. And expected rewards are like this after 1 era. And if you calculate all these differences, it should be around 80 tokens. Okay, give me a second to share my node. Okay.
Here we go, guys.
So again, this is Alice.
So this is how it would look like, okay? But I believe this is where the developers would have to go and pretty much register their dApp, right? For the smart contract to have the dApp staking involved, okay?
Bob, Charlie.
So Polkax, if you're listening, you got to get on this ASAP.
You see the balances, others you can ignore. So first step, so we need to register 2 contracts. Again, this is just a backend. You will have a front end to use to interact with the node, and it's coming very soon. Yeah.
Guys, I get it. I get it. People don't really want to read. They don't want to listen to videos. They just want to, you know, hear me talk about it, right? And that's fine and everything. But I'm telling you, the more information you soak in, the better you're going to understand it. Okay. So this is necessary. This is part of your due diligence.
Integrating in the moment. So let's say we have Dave and we call register. Okay, we will support, or we already support smart contracts as EVM or WASM. So this is Dave registering contract number 1 at this address 1, and we'll have a developer Eve registering contract on address 2. We'll call it contract 2 to be easier. Okay, so we have two registers. Let's see how this looks. Okay, you can see 2 contracts.
I see you, AI.
1 and 2 are registered. So we are now ready to stake on those contracts.
Okay. So let me just pause it there.
Money
so essentially, this is for the developer. So not developers, I guess, but the you know, for the dApps. right? They're going to have to do this first in order for us to see it's there, and we're going to know what dApp that is, right? And depending on how successful the dApp is in terms of user, just development and traffic on that dApp, it's going to give you more block rewards.
Period of time and earn some tokens. Okay, let's do Alice first. So Alice will stake. Alice stakes bonds and stakes.
Harsh.
This contract number 1.
Yeah, I drink my coffee black.
Tokens. We have Bob staking 100 as well. And we have Charlie staking on contract number 200 as well. Okay, let's see. These are the events now. You can see that we have all of them staked 100. And now it will be interesting to see. You can see on this polkadot.js that 100, each of them has locked 100. And this is not transferable, while developers can still transfer their funds, so they both have 100. Okay. We can see the block numbers here. And if you remember, so we need 60 blocks to come to a new era. This, at the moment, there is no rewards to claim. We need era to pass.
So what he means is you will be rewarded by 60 blocks, right? So every time that's created, that's when you will get your block rewards, right? So it's not just, by the hour or minute. It's not based off of time. It's by block produced.
Before we can claim those rewards. So the last one was at 300. So we wait for the block 360. Okay, we can already start doing this claim. So let's say Alice will claim for the contract. Actually, it can be any account. So anyone willing to pay the fee can call this. Can be your mom, it can be your friend, it can be your enemy.
Could be your enemy? What? He whispered that in a freaky way. Could be your mom,
okay,
could be your friend.
And allow me need to do it for the second one. I can still use Alice account to claim, just to claim. So it doesn't have to be developer or staker.
It's almost done, guys.
Okay, let's verify so we had the 2 claiming actions. We need to claim per contract. There is no claim function for all of the contracts because we expect thousands of those. So this is claimed. Now let's check the balances.
Here we go.
Okay, so this is Alice is rewarded 5.3 tokens, Bob 5.3, Charlie 5.3. While you can see Dave and Eve, they have different values because if you remember, there are 2 stakers on Dave's contract, so Dave will get more tokens. So because there are like Alice and Bob staked 100, so he will get 42, while Eve will get 21. So the more stakers on a contract, the more that dApps receive the rewards. Okay, so what we can do next? Let's say Charlie is the only one on that. Let's say Bob. Bob wants to take what he earned here. So let's see, we go to Bob says, give me my tokens. I want to spend it differently. I want to go on vacation. I'll go skiing in the Swiss Alps, or I go to Croatian coast, enjoy the sun. And let's say he takes it all. No, well, whatever, we can do 100. So now if you check the account, see Bob now has all transferable. Yeah, 5. Yeah. That's okay. I thought it's a bug, but it's not. So 5 was already free to transfer because rewards are free to do whatever you want. It's just staking that that was now unbounded, and now it's all transferable. So this is good. And
All right,
I think
guys.
this is all for this presentation.
Thank you for that presentation, sir. That was awesome. Now, look, man, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I understand that, you know, we do a lot of more of the price investing and all that kind of stuff. But with this network, guys, we're going to have to treat it a little bit differently. We're going to have to come with a different lens on our face, okay? A different perspective over here, and really, really, you know, read through the lines, right? And break down these articles. Just get as much information as possible. This is unlike we've ever seen, and it's going to take a learning curve, even for myself, okay? As I tell you guys, I'm just a dude on the internet. I love this ecosystem, this network, and I'm trying to show the world why everyone should think the same. But hey, you make your decision, all right, guys? So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this live stream tutorial, and you could bet your bottom dollar that I'll be doing a heck of a lot more of these live stream tutorials, whether that's about Astar, Polkadot, Kusama, and the entire damn ecosystem. All right? So you know what? There ain't really much left to see other than until my next video, which should be about the Moon River staking. Your ass on your own, brah. Later.